If you ever wondered, what's the inspiration behind my Monday reflections? This is the episode you need to listen to. I'm Drew Stevens, founder of Beyond the Legacy, and stick around. This is going to be a fun episode. I've received questions from friends about the backstory and the reason I do these Monday reflections. So today I decided to answer these questions and do my best to explain the why to the BTL community. So the first question is, where does your inspiration come from? Like, what is the origin of creating these Monday reflections? So over the course of my life, I've personally endured my share of adversity and setbacks. I'm blessed to have an amazing inner circle I can turn to. These people, these family members, these friends, they're my sounding board. They're my voice of reason. And on the flip side, in return, I've been that sounding board or unofficial therapist to my close friends with their professional and personal situations as well. So when giving advice, we often have that deja vu moment of, I've seen this movie before, but with just different individuals involved. So after a certain point in time, nothing surprises you anymore. The inspiration not only stems from life experiences, but also from conversations, programs I've watched, books I've read, and beyond. So my mind is always thinking and locked in. It's not unusual to see myself jotting down a theme or a quote that resonates with me onto my mobile notepad. The inspiration of my Monday reflections is to speak my mind about the common themes we all cross paths with within our lifetime. I've shared one reflection about being the family anchor, another about transition and acceptance starts with you, another about dealing with haters, and also there's one about not chasing other people's timelines. It's not a guarantee that every reflection will hit home. For the most part, there's typically an underlying theme or takeaway I share that may resonate with you. Week after week, I receive countless DMs and private messages from the BTL community sharing their thoughts, feedback, or thanks for sharing what I shared. While social influencers are fixated with likes, followers, comments, and shares, I get it. I get it from the social media marketing standpoint. I get it from the monetary standpoint, and I get it from the validation of just popularity and all. But when producing content, it has to speak to me. It has to be authentic. And I just feel whatever I share with the BTL community, it's a part of my legacy. And that's most important. I tell people, whatever you produce, whatever you put out there, whatever you do in your day-to-day, your actions, your words, everything you do is a part of your legacy. So when you're no longer here on earth, you're going to be remembered by those experiences, by these things that you leave behind that are going to live on. So that's definitely a big part of my inspiration, and also the origin of where this derives from. Why did I switch from written reflections to audio? For several weeks in a row, I was creating written reflections on my website, beyondthelegacy.com. I enjoy writing, it's no secret. I love putting my thoughts on paper and providing a story for the people to consume at their leisure. There are folks across my demographic that enjoy reading, and then there's folks that prefer listening to a podcast, or watching a short video, or something in some form of an audio format. Everyone has a crazy busy schedule, I get it. And I just felt providing a convenient format for folks on the go will be beneficial. I received feedback in private from friends that would happily listen while washing the dishes, in the car, doing laundry, on the beach, taking a walk, or just while around the house. I first converted my written reflections into an audio format 10 weeks ago. Then after that, I ended up creating more audio reflections each week to hit on the themes we may be thinking about, but rarely openly discuss. If you have 5 to 10 minutes to spare each week, all you have to do is click play. The audio reflections live on IGTV, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So if you're following Beyond the Legacy or at BT Legacy 365, you should be able to find all those depending on what platform you're on. What are you hoping to achieve from these reflections? My expectations are relatively humble. Often people create things because society says this is what's popular, or this is the hot theme, the new TikTok challenge, or the trending form of content to produce. I'm not out here to chase or mirror content that doesn't align with my brand or mission. I do my best to stay true, and there's nothing wrong with stepping outside of your comfort zone. I salute the folks out there that go there daily, weekly, and not afraid to try something different on social. But it's very important to listen to your audience and know your audience. It's very challenging to create something that everyone will love or connect with. It's key to establish consistency and diversify your content because you never know what might take off. We see it all the time, where one single share changes the course of history and the popularity for an individual or brand takes off. I've heard great stories where a public figure loved a piece of content so much they reshared it with their community, and the person who produced that content went from a few hundred followers to 10 to 20,000 followers in a matter of days. Now, I'm more focused on my content being the inspiration or message someone I know and someone I don't know needs to hear in the moment. And I'm going to repeat that. I'm more focused on my content being the inspiration or message someone I know and someone I don't know needs to hear in the moment. Are you talking about me? This is going to be a fun one. So, this is a frequently asked question from my friends. Are you talking about me in your reflection because it is totally relatable to something going on in my life? The themes I talk about are universally relatable and not directed at one single person or individuals. I've had friends privately request I give them a friendly reminder or nudge in one of my future reflections. They might be going through something in their personal or professional life and could use that verbal reminder without me saying their name. And I've done that before in the past. If the topic or theme feels like I'm talking about you, I'm not. I'm just sharing an overall narrative that many of us have personally experienced or still going through in the present day. My family, friends, ex-girlfriends, or anyone currently in my life in the present, these reflections have never been specifically about you, unless you privately ask me to drop an Easter egg, hint, or subtle mention. I respect everyone's privacy and wouldn't single people out without their permission. It's not uncommon to relate because we all deal with these themes or know of someone who is dealing with it in the present or has in the past. Can I suggest a topic or theme you can reflect on for a future Monday? The answer is absolutely. You can privately DM me because I'm always looking for new topics and themes to reflect on. Don't be shy. We'll keep whatever you share in private, however you want to keep it. No one needs to know it's coming from you specifically. If you want it to be publicly known that it's coming from you, I can definitely give you a shout out because this is your topic. But that's something we can work out one-on-one. But the one thing to realize is you just never know who might be going through that same battle that you're facing in the moment or have faced and overcome in the past. There's a butterfly effect these reflections can create through content consumption and sharing. And I'm also open to doing an audio only or video one-on-one collaboration or conversation to use as a future reflection post or a podcast episode. So DM me if interested. How can Beyond the Legacies community support your content? This is a good one. I'm always looking to expand my audience and reach because you never know who you might impact. There's people that love your posts, comment publicly, share feedback in private, and are actively engaged. There's people that consume your content and you may never hear a word from them in a lifetime. There's people that could care less about your content and they love to hate it. And hey, they might be jealous, but in the end, they're not putting in the work. And secretly, they might be stalking it. And hey, in the end, who knows? They might be even using your content as their own words or advice. Hey, there's only so much you can control. So to me, I look at it as those are the things you can't control. You can only focus on the things you can control. So nothing I could do there. Then there's the people that consistently follow you but don't publicly engage at all. Folks that respectfully stalk your profile. Maybe listening to your audio and video at 2 or 3 in the morning or 4 or 5 in the morning. I mean, they might be well aware of everything you're doing from a daily, weekly standpoint, but they just prefer not to say anything or share anything publicly. And I'm saying feedback, comment, likes, any of that stuff. It just might not be visible to you. A friend of mine told me one day, "Your content inspires me. I read all your written content, listen to all your interviews, your reflections weekly." I remember asking this person, "How come I never see you engage, like, or comment?" And this friend said, "Just because I don't engage publicly doesn't mean I'm not keeping tabs on your work or inspired." And that hit me. It made me realize that you don't always have to be the person that's the loudest voice in the room. You don't always have to be the person that raises your hand with all the questions in a crowded room. So I respect that, especially a future episode I'm going to do about being introverted and sort of the pitfalls and the blessings and curses of being introverted at times from childhood to adult life. And I know a lot of people will be able to relate and resonate with that reflection. So that one is coming soon. But I respect whatever category you fall under because not everyone wants to be in the limelight with feedback or engagement. You can't live for likes, followers, and constructive feedback and all the dashboard analytics. What means the most to me is the community. The community I've nurtured and established since the inception of Beyond the Legacy in 2017. Many of my initial followers are hybrids of athletes, family, and friends that I've personally known for many, many years, in some cases double digits. Over time, I've established a new following from people I've met in person, friends of friends, to people I met through social media from all over the world. My challenge, this is a good one, my challenge to the BTL community is to take a good look at your Facebook and Instagram friends and pick one person. Pick that one family member, pick that one friend, that one someone in your life that you are close to and they trust you and they value your judgment, that would appreciate and resonate with the content I share on BTL. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to hard sell and I'm not making this anything that I would expect anyone to do. This is not a mandatory thing. But please don't hard sell them and do not force the content down their throat if it's not something they're willing to look at, view, listen to. It's not for everyone. But just organically pass along something that you feel they would relate to or that would resonate with them. I have all different types of interviews, whether you're a sports fan, whether you're a non-sports fan. There's all different types of content, reflections, and interviews and things within Beyond the Legacy social that could relate to someone. So keep that in mind with the content that you might share, because You never know who may benefit from the Beyond the Legacy content, and you never know who they may share it with, and so on. So the other alternative is you can just simply share or reshare any of my content on your social. You can reshare on your Facebook wall, you can reshare an IG story, you can reshare on your IG wall, only if it resonates with you. I'm not asking you to do it daily, I'm not asking you to do it monthly, it's just if something resonates with you, you have the green light to share away. So when I look at things and I look at everything that's imaginable, even if just one person from your community or friend or family member is reached and it impacts them, mission accomplished. Like, to me, that's success. I'm always open to collabs as well. We can work on a shared community post or discuss content ideas that would be a win-win for both social platforms. I have amazing friends that are subject matter experts in professional basketball, professional bowling, nutrition, life coaches, chefs, small business owners, bakers, personal trainers, yoga instructors, and beyond. In the end, we are here to leave a lasting legacy on Earth. My writing, my BTL apparel, my interviews, my reflections, the personal conversations and advice given over the years, to all the experiences shared with the people in my life, past and present, is a part of my legacy on Earth. I don't take that for granted, and I don't take that lightly. As they say, you never know who's watching or looking at your content. That is why it's in my best interest to stay authentic and produce content that is meaningful to me and my community. I'm a firm believer in putting in the work and earning the trust and respect from my community. In the end, I prefer to have an authentic, close-knit community that believes in the brand and is locked into the mission, content, and journey of 2021 and beyond. If this reflection resonated with you, feel free to like, comment, and share on social. Never underestimate the power of sharing positive content across your community. You can be responsible for passing this reflection along to the right person at the right time when they need it the most. Be sure to follow us at BT Legacy 365 on Instagram and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. All of my written content, reflections, and short stories can be found at beyondthelegacy.com.